Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about Kringle Candle Halloween Cabin in the Woods. Full disclosure, this candle was sent to me in PR from the brand. As always, my thoughts are my own. The brand never tells me what I need to say, and in fact, I appreciate that they really enjoy honest feedback. I've given them honest feedback many, many times through my channel here, and not once have I ever been quote unquote punished or had PR withheld or anything like that. So I do appreciate that Kringle is always very open to honest thoughts, and that is what I am here to deliver to you. So Cabin in the Woods is one of the 12 new fragrances that will be available for part one of their Halloween launch, which is happening this Thursday night going into Friday morning, depending on where you are. The official launch time is Friday, August 1st at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, I have mentioned in a lot of other videos, you're going to want to adjust depending on what time zone you are in, because I'm over here on the West Coast. We are on Pacific time, so that means that it will be this Thursday, July 31st at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you guys who may be unfamiliar with Kringle, or maybe you are newer to Kringle, Halloween is their Super Bowl. It is their biggest launch of the year. So just anticipate that. I don't know if there will be a queue. I don't know what's going to be going on, but just make sure that you have your alarm set. So let's go ahead and talk about this Cabin in the Woods. This is one of their standard large 2-wick, 22-ounce, 100% soy wax vessels. We've got a translucent black vessel. We've got kind of a creepy image here. I'll be honest, I've turned this one around when I have been burning it. Labels are honestly pretty easy to pull off too if this is not your vibe. I just take a hair dryer to them and then start from a corner and pull it off. But the other thing that you can do is just kind of, turn the candle around here, and then you don't have to look at the label. But for today, how about we keep her like this? Well, okay. There's no face on this one, so it really doesn't creep me out too much, but it is a little bit more of an eerie, spooky type of look going on. But yeah, otherwise, let's talk about the fragrance notes on this candle, because I think a lot of people might be very surprised by this one. I know I was. So the fragrance notes on this candle are top notes of golden saffron, mid notes, rose, black truffle, crocus flower, base note, patchouli, vanilla, agarwood, and oakmoss. Okay, so here's the thing with this fragrance, you guys. This is actually a very sophisticated, you would look and see some floral notes in there. It is a perfumey type of floral. However, I would say that this is actually a really nice fragrance for maybe not so much Halloween, but for this time of year, because the dominant floral note that I'm picking up in here is definitely rose, but it's not like springtime rose. This is very much, there's like a dark moody rose, I would say, to this. It reminds me a lot of the rose note that was in the sunflower and suede fragrance that was part of the reserve lineup last fall. No suede, there's no suede note in here, but the rose note, if you liked the rose note in that candle, it's very similar in this one. This fragrance, though, has a little bit of more of like an elevated perfuminess on it. I think it's that golden saffron in the top note that is giving this a little bit more of like a high-end type of luxe perfume type of fragrance. I do get base notes of patchouli and vanilla in there. The vanilla is not like an overly what would I say? It's not like an overly gourmand type of vanilla. There's no like gourmandness in there. I think the vanilla is probably in there maybe to tone down some of the floral aspects of this. Oak moss is probably in there as well to kind of just make this more of what I would say. This is more of an autumnal floral. Like if you're somebody who was not a seasonal burner, or maybe you are somebody who wants to lean seasonal, but you also enjoy your florals, I think that this is a great fragrance to burn heading into the traditional quote unquote fall burning season. Really nice fragrance. This does give like, it sounds funny that you've got like this creepy looking dilapidated cabin in the background with this woman who looks severely distressed and demonic, I guess. It's interesting that they are pairing this fragrance, because what I'm smelling actually reminds me of like a fragrance that I would find in like a very high end luxurious resort. So I don't know. I feel like this fragrance is actually really nice. It is surprising me how much I have enjoyed it. I would actually suggest pairing this if you really enjoy this. I just did a review on Trick or Treat earlier today, and I did talk about how that fragrance really was not for me because I have kind of a complicated fragrance preference when it comes to chocolate fragrances. But I mentioned in that review that if you like the fragrance bittersweet, I feel like you would like this one. And it's funny because I feel like I'm kind of having a little bit of a deja vu in terms of a fragrance pairing, that I actually think that this fragrance pairs nicely with the Trick or Treat because you've got a little bit of that chocolate aspect mixed with the rose in here. This would also pair really nicely with like a vanilla gourmand type of fragrance. It's just it, but it is a more perfumey category. That's what I would put it in. It's a floral perfume, but it's more of a like um, a deep, a deeper type of floral. It's not a springtime floral to me. It's a little bit heavier. Like I said, I get the patchouli, I get the rose, I get some of that saffron on the top note. Just a very, very well done fragrance. Very nice. In terms of strength and throw, let's go ahead and talk about the performance. So you can see right here, this is the fragrance that I have actually burned the least. I got to burning this one the last out of all of the candles. So I'm at about a third of the way down on this one, but I'm not having any burn issues at all. Nice wax pool. The wicks are not burning too hot and wild on this one either, which is very nice. Some of the new fall and Halloween candles are burning a little bit hotter than others, but this one is, I'm not having that experience with. Now, here's the thing with this candle. I have found that this candle, on the first burn, this took a little while to start throwing for me, but once it did, this was a pretty solid 8 in terms of strength and throw. You are going to get good performance out of this one, but I do find that it just takes a little while to get going. Maybe it might take about an hour. It's one of those fragrances that I think it's done well because I have mentioned that rose notes do tend to be headache inducing for me, but I found that this one was actually just overall very pleasant in the house. It's not headache inducing. It's not overwhelming. Like I said, I think some of those other notes in there, like a vanilla, kind of cuts into that rose to keep it from being so heady type of rose. But it's a very, very nice fragrance. Now, what I am going to say is that this fragrance, even though I am enjoying it, personally, you guys, this is not a fragrance that I would burn in the fall. This is a fragrance that I would actually see myself burning more so in like around February. That's typically when I like rose fragrances because it reminds me of Valentine's Day. So what I am actually planning on doing with this candle, and you might see in my declutter video coming up this weekend, I do plan on passing this candle along, not because I don't enjoy the fragrance, but the reason why I'm passing it along is because, fun fact, you guys, there is a new gal here on the block, here on YouTube. She's been over on Instagram for a while, but Amy, she has been a subscriber of mine for a while. Her channel is Beloved Fragrance Finds, and Amy actually lives about an hour away from me. And I was watching her video the other day. She is a recent KRINGLE ambassador as well. She applied for the program and was accepted into the program. And she was saying that this is one of the fragrances that was on her radar. She was interested in it. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, would you like this one? I said, because I do enjoy it. However, I am getting ready to go on a 10-day trip next month in August, which means that's going to cut into my burning time. And I also have a lot of new fragrances that are on their way to me right now. So I honestly have a lot of fall candles to review, and I'm truthfully always very, very grateful for fragrances. But I also feel like if there is somebody else near me who would enjoy some of these candles a little bit more, I feel like sharing the love. So I am actually planning to pass this candle along to Amy, as well as maybe some other Halloween fragrances that she expressed some interest in. Again, not because I'm not enjoying the fragrances, but because I just feel like I'm not going to get through them. And you guys know that I like to keep my collection a little, I'm trying to keep it under control. So anyways, you guys, if you like rose fragrances, particularly the way that Kringle does them. This one does get 2 thumbs up from me. This candle, like I said, will be available this week during the part 1 launch. I do have an affiliate discount code with Kringle. Katie15 will save you 15% off of that purchase. So let me know in the comment box down below if this one is on your wish list. I would be curious to know. Please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I will have more reviews coming up for you guys this week prior to the launch. So again, if you don't want to miss them, make sure you are subscribed. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.